Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're posing the question, why are the CR-1, K-3, and IR-1 visas, basically U.S. marriage visas, taking so long to process? Well, quite honestly, the simple answer is the system is terrible. It's not really conducive to moving things through at any kind of efficient clip. Quite honestly, I can't figure out what has been done to the system other than to make it worse the last 4 or 5 years. The prior administration seemed to have an overall beef with legal immigration, even though I can't figure out why, and went in, and again, this is a non-political video. I'm not partisan. In certain ways, I agreed with things that administration did. I agree with things this administration does. I ardently disagree with both in certain contexts. So not a partisan thing. I'm not getting into a political spiel here. It's just a fact. The Trump administration, specifically Stephen Miller, who was working in that administration, it looks like did a lot of things that have resulted in basically the immigration process becoming less efficient, it becoming slower. There becoming, in my opinion, unnecessary delays and requests for redundant documentation in many different contexts, not only on the Department of Homeland Security side, but also on the Department of State side, most notably the redundancy we constantly see with respect to the quagmire, and there, in my opinion, there's no other real word for it, but the quagmire we see in dealing with the National Visa Center. So again, why is it taking so long? Well, you can say the COVID backlog, and there is something to be said for that. The sort of COVID part of this kind of only ended last year to one degree or another. And end is maybe a bit of a subjective term under the circumstances. Hard to say exactly how things are going to progress from here. But again, that backlog is still out there. I think they've done some things. We've talked about it on this channel to try and mitigate that. But long story short, we're still dealing with the aftermath. So the thing to take away from this video, why is it taking so long? Well, the system isn't great. It seems to have been modified compared to 5 years ago to honestly make it what can only be described as less efficient and quote-unquote worse, for lack of a better word. That's kind of the reason it's taken so long. I don't really have a lot of explanation otherwise. To clients who are going through it with us right now, you are aware we're doing the best we can to keep things moving. But at the end of the day, more than anything, I think you can point the finger at the system, if you want, which is, it's kind of a disingenuous thing to do insofar, maybe disingenuous is the wrong word, but it's kind of the easy thing. It's kind of a cop-out, if you will, to just say, well, the system's terrible. Well, there does come a certain point where you can't say that a practitioner or someone who's working with the system is ultimately at fault for the system itself just not being great and not really working well. So again, I'm not trying to pass the buck. I'm right here still taking emails and still communicating with clients as we're trudging through what can only be described as, honestly, at best, I think it can be described as an inefficient system. I'll continue to do so, and we'll keep you updated on this channel as the situation evolves.